Okay, so we've now got the block off, and we've got to deal with the stud that's snapped. Best way to do it, and don't be frightened of it, is put heat onto the block, because aluminium expands at a faster rate than the steel bolt or the steel stud, the bolt in this case. So heat it up. Let it get really warm. Because really you don't want to have to be drilling it out and then helicoiling it. Heat it up like that. Duck oil is your friend. Squirt duck oil on it. As it cools down, you'll be able to see it's actually sucking it into the thread. And if we're lucky, with a pair of mole grips, there you go. I always waggle it a bit first. Get that out of the way. And that's the first one out, without damaging the thread. That's one of the 8mm head bolts that snapped. Beautiful. Right, same process. Same process for the exhaust studs. Apply the heat to the aluminium as opposed to the actual stud that's broken or the bolt that's broken. Don't be afraid to get too much heat on it. Say these are all the methods that I use to do things that are easy without any major equipment that you might not have in your own garage. Okay, so that's nice and warm now. Duck oil. Let's see if we can get this one to move. Oh, look at that. Work it in a bit. Nine times out of 10 they come out so easy. Beautiful. Right, we'll do the next one. Same process. Apply it to the aluminium casting as opposed to the steel stud. And you can, I don't know if you can see, but you can actually see the grease in there that's boiling. So that's half the job done for me. Because that grease will now be going around all the threads and loosening them off. This has been broken for a long time because it's rusty. duck oil. Let that suck it in. Mould grips and just a bit of movement. And there we go. Bit more duck oil. If it goes tight, don't be afraid to screw it back a little bit, back in, and then more duck oil. So that's all the nasty studs out. Whilst we've got the blow torch out, when you send things for vapor blasting or any machining, this one always breaks, it gets snapped off. So what I've learnt to do is remove it before it goes. So again, heat the aluminium, because that expands faster than the brass does, and it just makes it an easy way to get it out, and it saves you probably, I don't know what they are, 15 quid or something, all the time and trouble to have to drill the pipe out and re-solder a new pipe in. So that's nice and warm. Pair of mould grips again. We don't want to grip this too hard, and then just twist, and it's not moving. There you go. Just pull it out and save that for when it's got to go back in. When I rebuild an engine, I prefer to helicoil all the 6 exhaust mounting bolts holes, because you're screwing obviously a steel bolt into an aluminium thread, and God knows how many times they've been on and off, and I'm sure in the past you've screwed a bolt in and it's stripped on these because they're renowned for it. So to shortcut all that, before the block goes for reboring and before it goes for vapor blasting, I helicoil them all, and this is how I do it. I just get one of the collars off the exhaust, take it off, use an 8mm bolt of the right length, so that much protrudes through, so probably 15mm. Hold it in place and wind it in. Make sure that it's in the right, you're centralised over the hole. Then get your drill, and I use insulation tape around it so you don't go too deep. So you want to be probably 20mm in. So by winding the tape around it, you know you're not going to go too far. If you go too far, you break into the water jacket, which isn't too good. So that's my depth gauge, if you like. Into my little drill on a slow speed. Now, using the collar, it acts as a guide, so you've got to get it at the right angle. You can't get it at the wrong angle. And then just drill in. and that's very nice. This is quite hard having to reach past the camera. So I would do that on all the top 3 first, and then when you put the new helicoil in, you can then use that to hold the bolt that holds the clamp to do the bottom 3. So get all the debris out of the hole. I use carb cleaner, carb spray. Make it all nice and clean. And then tap your threads. Do half a turn and a quarter turn back all the way in. And just go down until you feel it bottom out. That's it. Unscrew it. As it comes out, be very careful on the last few turns. Bring it out. And again, remove any debris. Select your helicoil, and then it's quite simple. The tang at the bottom goes into the slot there, and then just let it feed itself in. That's it, all the way down. What you need to do is make sure that the last thread of the helicoil is down. I've seen them where people leave them out and it's not right. They've got to go down. So just turn it down. You'll then see, I don't know if you can just see it, but there is a tang in there. The tang is the thing that goes onto this, and which is obviously what screws it in. So what you need to do is get the tang removal tool, which is just a straight bit of metal, and give it a crack. Or hit your fingers as it may be. Look at the hammer. That's it, it's off. So that removes it. Obviously the tang is in there now, but after we finish them all, we'll tip it up, get them all out. And that's how to helicoil your exhaust holes. and tap the thread again. A little bit of oil does work as well. It keeps the tap sharp. So again, wind it out, and be careful with the last few turns so it comes out straight. Clean it again. And just screw it in very gently. That's it. As soon as it started, it just goes in lovely. Making sure that the thread is past the surface. Tang removal tool, quick crack, and it's gone. Try and make a bit of room so you can see it. Okay. Lovely. A bit of oil on it. Can't beat a bit of 3-in-1 oil. And same process. Back out. Watch the last couple of turns. And clean it out. Tang again, tang. Helicoil again, down to the bottom. And just screw it in. You'll feel it once it starts to go in. You know it's going in right. If there's any resistance at all, stop turning, because the helicoil will undo like a spring, and then you've just got to take it all out. Again, remove the tang, sharp crack, and it's gone. Then it's just a straightforward process of doing it all again, but of course you're now using the threads you just put in, which does prove that it's nice. And repeat the same process 3 more times. I won't bore you with it. Okay, that's all 6 exhaust threads done. The last thing to do before it goes away is just to remove the old gasket, which I just do with a normal scraper, which is now just fallen apart. Take it all off, and this is good enough for it to go for the rebore, and then obviously vapor blasting afterwards. But by using that block puller plate, you'll see there is no damage where they always get damaged when people put screwdrivers in, pry bars, everything else. This is beautiful. The face on the crankcase half obviously isn't damaged, and it just doesn't, it's just a common sense way of doing things. It's like threading these. Common sense makes life so much easier. If you've never done it before, when I learnt to do these, it was because the middle thread, when I was putting an exhaust on, pulled, it just stripped. And that means head off, block off, carbs off, absolute nightmare. Do it beforehand and you can't go wrong. But I hope this has helped you. There'll be more common sense, an idiot building a 750 engine. More videos coming soon. Take care.